That time I got reincarnated as a slime is making moves in episode 2. They're making some deals and they're just entertaining me greatly. This episode, similar to last week, it's just a great return to form, and from what I understand, what we're currently adapting originally comes from the source material around the time of Season 1's content, but obviously Season 1 didn't adapt it then because they wanted to get to certain arcs and certain points, so they kind of trimmed it out. People, I guess, assumed never was going to get adapted, and now currently is. I've heard mixed things. Some people saying that the entire first core will be stuff that originally came from the source material that should have been adapted already, where other people are saying that it's only going to be a few more episodes of it. All I know is I'm entertained by slime once again, so whether it's new stuff that's going to blow our minds with intense storylines, or slice-of-life adventures as we make deals and break some hearts left and right, I'm here for the long haul. I've always thought one of Slime's greatest strengths is how it doesn't feel the need to always put the viewer in this intense situation. It's perfectly confident in the fact that its characters and world are so fun and interesting that you can have an entire episode, in the case of episode 2 of season 2, where you're making trade deals and you're having fights, you're having jokes, you're drinking alongside your newfound comrades, and that can be just as fun as any great action sequence. I mean, after last week, by the looks of it, you would put money on Rimuru being the reason why this whole battle took place. Come this episode, you realize, even though there was definitely some provoking from Rimuru's side, they wanted to fight because they wanted to test, are you worthy to be allies with us? And the fact that they were able to stand their own against some of their top warriors, they agreed. And while it didn't end in as much carnage as I was expecting, it did provide for one of the best Rimuru moments that I can recently remember, where, it's like, oh god, Xian's ready to throw this giant-ass Dragon Ball superstar at her. What do? Everyone's freaking out. Oh, we're just going to consume that and move on with our day. Always love seeing the dumbfoundedness of any character who gets to not only just interact with Rimuru, realizing that the leader you're talking to is a slime, but when they actually see that slime's full worth. It's something that it just kind of puts into perspective that even though we know Rimuru is not the strongest character in this series as of yet, he still is ridiculously powerful, all things considered, and you have to love that about this. This episode, for the most part, was just looking at previous trade deals that we set up or alliances that we were trying to form with last week's episode, seeing if they came through, such as in the case of Benimaru coming back saying, hey, maybe send Rigger or someone else to do this because I want to make sure that, everything's going to be okay from home. I'm a good fighter, that's what I'm good at, and I'm trusting the people that I interacted with. By the way, just a casual info drop, I did challenge the man to a fight, and I guess I'm not strong enough yet. You definitely are sending the wrong people if you want to have peace negotiations, because if this was any other character, you probably could have declared war by sending someone like Benimaru to do it, or even Xion herself, because while she looks like a good diplomat who looks professional, yeah, she kind of does bounce around on our boy's head from time to time. At the end of the day, she loses her temper so fast that you can't even de-escalate her, and when you have to de-escalate her, you usually have to take an energy ball of doom to your face in order to do so. So just watching those sequences take place, or the absurd amount of drinking from this one shapeshifter, I mean, you've seen heavy drinking in anime, but this takes the cake. You're literally chugging kegs upon kegs, and you're disappointed by not having enough. So then on your road to basically, you get into the old Dwarven Kingdom. We haven't seen that for quite a while. Honestly, it feels like it's been over 12 episodes if we've seen it, or the king himself. And then you're passing by your hard workers, which another point of slime that I like is that battles and damage that take place in the battles actually have lasting consequences. That giant-ass fight from Season 1, they're still repairing the road from that. And they're only halfway done. It looks great, but the fact that you don't just have one of those isekai where a city gets blown up and then in the next episode the city's back because of some magic BS. No, here, you still gotta put in the manual labor even if you do have runes that are the way that you can have hot water come from a faucet. So you're looking at your hard workers saying, wow, you're doing great, have some alcohol. This show is just promoting that, after a long days of work, go drink some alcohol. Just maybe don't drink kegs upon kegs upon kegs like certain characters in it. That's what I love about this show, is that while yes, there will be intensity, and I've heard nothing but great things about the serious side to this season when we do eventually get to it, and you could even look at the very end of the episode where it looks a little ominous, not knowing what's going to happen next, but still, from what we're seeing right now and what a majority of Season 1 was, was it was really getting you established and connected with the characters and world, and they've done a remarkable job carrying that through. So if they give me an entire core, or they'll give me one more episode or no more episodes of the simpler, downtime, slice of life, carefree adventures of a slime not really struggling for an end goal or anything like that, but just enjoying his village, I'm all for it. But you know we're eventually going to get into the seriousness, and because when we do get into that, because we're building up with all these simpler moments, building these alliances or trade deals, getting fresh fruit because, well, you can make alcohol, but you don't really have the ingredients to do so. Well, now that you have a trading partner with an abundance of fruit and vegetables, things like that, you can do a lot more. Maybe you can make the thing, sell it to them if they provide you the goods, right? There's all these little things at play that generally I don't think many anime fans would be overly invested in, but when you have it in the presence of such a colorful palette of characters such as these, whether you want the sexual characters, whether you want the goofy characters, whether you want the badass characters, whether you want the cute characters, it really has something for everyone, and it never offends you. It just brings a grin to your face and makes you laugh, or you say, that was badass, and I wouldn't have it any other way with this show. This is one of those episodes where you may not be able to talk about too much specifically about individual pieces, but once again, combined together, it creates another wholesome adventure that you can't say it was boring, because honestly, if this is boring, then most of season 1 would have had to been boring for you, if I'm being completely honest, because it feels just as in line, if not more eventful than a lot of the simpler times in the first half of season 1. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the Dwarven Kingdom. I think there's a lot of potential. I mean, you get some great jokes about, the return of the slime. Where's the great slime Rimuru? Here's Rimuru. What? Here's Rimuru. What? It's just funny because, even though in the concept of this world and how characters are used to anomalies, having someone you knew be a slime, which already was insane that it was a talking, intelligent slime, but now seeing what the slime looks like in its human form, yeah, it's definitely going to knock your socks off, and maybe not in the greatest of ways. But still, I think it's going to be fun. I think we're building up to something pretty interesting, and I like the alliances, the trade deals, and other things that are happening here, and it just makes it feel like everything that happened in the prior season still matters. And while, yes, I believe this content was supposed to happen back in season 1, still, the way the season 2 is directing it, it feels like with the way the arcs are kind of developed and paced, you can really readapt anything and it kind of fit after any arc. Even if something that happened in this episode was supposed to happen at episode 6, it feels like it naturally could fit here, just with the way the characters are interacting as long as they've already been introduced. Great stuff once again, voice actors on point, still really fun animation. For not having too much insanity, there is some insanity, but having just the cute moments, they really do flex what they can do with the animation in these very adorable, if not hilarious ways, and I'm completely here for it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What do you think? And what is your opinion on how they're readapting cut content from the prior season? What's your prediction on how long it's going to last? And if you're new to the anime like myself, are you enjoying it or are you kind of hoping it's going to get more serious quickly? Whatever you feel, let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.